This video is about translations, and specifically the translation of reflections. Reflections are when an image or a shape is flipped, or the mirror image is formed across some line of reflection. So some simple examples here. If we have this line of reflection and we're going to mirror or reflect this shape, we get a shape similar to it, just on the other side. Now our line of reflection doesn't always have to be vertical or horizontal. We can also have line of reflections that are like this one to the right. So, the first thing we need to do when we think about making lines of reflections is kind of how to do it. And whenever we're looking at it, we can see that the flipped image is reflected perpendicularly across the line of reflection. So that means it's reflected straight across. So if you have a line that are connecting, or that is connecting the mirror points, it will be perpendicular to the line of reflection. Okay, so whenever we kind of think about this, we already know kind of where in general the points will be. The last thing we need to know is the fact that the mirror points are equidistant from the line of reflection. So let's kind of use that and look at this example above. So if we have this shape and we want to figure out where its mirror image would be, or its reflected image, first from each of the points we need to draw a perpendicular line connecting the points with the other side of the page. So for this bottom vertex, we have that perpendicular line. For the middle vertex here, we have this perpendicular line, and for the top vertex we will have this perpendicular line. So given, we have our lines now, but we don't know exactly where we're going to have our new image fall on those lines. And that's why we need to measure the distance between the line and the points on the opposite side, because we know that'll be the same on our mirrored side. So we get a point here. We get a point about here. And we get a point about out here. So now if we connect those points, we should get a shape that is a mirror image of the other one. So that is how, just visually, you can form the mirror image. Now, if you have your shapes on a coordinate plane, you can use some algebraic methods in order to determine where those mirrored points are going to land. The first step is to use the equation of the line of reflection and the vertices of the shape to solve for the perpendicular lines. And next you want to use the midpoint formula and this equation from 1 in order to find the coordinates, since you know that the line of reflection is the middle or midpoint of the mirrored points. An alternate way you could do this would be using the distance formula to determine the distance from the line of reflection to the known point, and then just double that and solve for the other point, knowing that it's twice the distance away from the first point. And this is all about reflections and how to determine where they would fall on a coordinate plane or just in general.